So here are some simple cosmetic upgrades for the interior. We're getting close to the amount of stuff that I can really do to this car for cosmetics. I mean, it's kind of cool to say that it's almost done, but at the same time, it's like I'm now getting bored. It's a quick, simple install, quick mod, if you'll say. It's just taking out this big trim here, replacing it with the new one, which I got from RW Carbon, and then all these little buttons and stuff here, which are going to be the most complicated part. I got some plastic tools. I think these would work. So it is relatively simple to get these parts out. They're just held on by clips, so just have to be very careful, because again, it is BMW plastic, and we all know BMW plastic isn't really the strongest out there. So just carefully pry up the edges, and you should be good. So no, I can't actually put this part in quite yet because I do have to take the buttons out, but man, it looks flawless compared to the carbon fiber trim that's already in. So this next one is the buttons here. It's the same thing. Like all of this just pops out. So I actually did 2 steps in one almost. This was gonna have to come off either way. This guy here, you can see how flimsy this is, so you have to be super careful. Then you have to take out that little blue plug, which is super easy to get out, but put back into. So I did forget, if you're ever changing these out, this is just one part of the process. Obviously, you have to take that trim off and everything, but now you have to take off this entire thing. It's a complicated mess just to put on new freaking buttons. So yes, just to put on different colored buttons, you have to dismantle the entire thing. So take out the chip, take out the lights, everything that's really on it. Now, it seems complicated, but reality is just get a little pin and you should be able to do it within 5 minutes. It's mad easy. So now it's just putting all this back together and putting this in, putting the trim on. Now there is something else that I could do, and that is this guy here, the gear selector, but I don't have that yet. Well, again, super easy install. However, I got a little start stop button too, and this one's actually blue zinced alumina, and they're quite 2 different blues here. You could definitely tell that on camera. All right, well, it is what it is. Let's put the Hail Mary on. This big bad boy right here. Look at that. Let's just press down a little bit on. Sexy! So this next part of the video gets very confusing and very complicated. Now, most of you who have probably done this mod know exactly what my issue is and so on and so forth, but you're watching my videos, so understand that this is my first time ever doing this. So if you couldn't already tell, this entire video is pretty much cosmetics, and this I'm not exactly sure how to put on because I've never done it before, and anything, if you put it online, like type it in on Google, you don't find it. So I guess it's just hope and pray that it's easy. Yep, and this is where everything goes wrong. So I'm gonna make this short and simple for you guys, that way you don't have to go through the headache that I went through, but I'll show you exactly what happened each step of the way, just very short and simple. And this tiny little white box, I have brand new DRLs. Like I was saying beforehand, there's nothing online saying how to do this on a pre-LCI BMW F30 or F32. I know this is F36, we've mentioned this multiple times, how the F30 and F32, mostly F32 parts fit on the F36. There's really just, the biggest difference is that this one's a hatchback, the other ones are just sedans. So on newer BMWs, they thought about the average person that was going to be implementing these. So, on newer BMWs, they have the DRL slots here. Problem with mine is that they seem to be inside. If you can't see this, the module here normally is on the top if it's a newer BMW, and this one is inside. So if you can't already picture what I'm trying to put down here, I have to remove the entire front bumper in order to get to these things. This is a 2015 435i, but this is also a pre-LCI, not an LCI. Here's the saver of the headache for you guys. There are 3 different style types of headlights. So, like I was mentioning beforehand, the newer BMWs have the DRL modules on the very top so that it's a quick exchange, because sometimes they do go out. So, on this guy here, on a pre-LCI 435i with M Sport, it has the BMW LED. That's the biggest problem, because normally most of them have xenon. So as you see in the video, I have to take off the entire front bumper, which you would normally have to do no matter what, if this was a pre-LCI xenon headlight, to change the DRLs, which are going to be underneath the headlight. And you could literally take off the passenger side wheel or driver side wheel, take off the fender liner, which you'd have to do no matter what, and then you'd be able to see the modules. But in my case, there's nothing. So again, you'd have to take off the front bumper, fender liner, and wheels no matter what if it was a pre-LCI and you're changing the DRL modules. But since mine's a pre-LCI with BMW LED modules, it doesn't work. So the DRLs are integrated inside the headlight, which you're about to see, because there's no actual modules on the external side. So you have to go into it, actually behind the headlight. Only problem is that, and I know it's super dark in here, you can't really see much of anything, but if you see this white pin here, that guy is a 6-pin, and the ones I got were a 5-pin. Now, another kicker is that they have to be the exact same size and shape for the chip of the DRL module. If they are not, it doesn't work. Long story short, it doesn't fit, and it sucks because I took 3.5 hours to figure that out by taking and removing all of this front side off, even the headlight out. Luckily it was only the passenger side headlight, but I can't do custom DRLs on these headlights, so I would have to wait until I get the Icon LED headlights if I really decide to go that route.